Hello, y'all. Welcome to the live. Happy Friday. And today's live. I haven't been live on YouTube in I don't know how long, so just forgive me for being a little bit rusty. But no, seriously, I'm really excited to chat with you guys today about how I've been able to sign over 250 plus high ticket clients without a single sales call while maintaining my sanity and really maintaining a business model that supports the life where I'm headed and not where I've been. Okay. So if you are live, hashtag live in the chat. I have my other computer here to make sure that we are on track. But we are going to get in here today and just simply talk about the business model that's going to allow you to shift from a place of burnout, a shift from a place that's not fun for you. And a lot of times, right? And I wrote a post about this on Instagram today, and then we're going to talk about the model. Is a lot of times we find ourselves in places and in spaces where we want to burn our business down. So if that's you, hashtag A1 in the chat. But a lot of times we find ourselves in places where we want to burn our business down. And what ends up happening, especially as a coach, a course creator, a service provider, is that we try to combat that burnout by launching something new, or we try to combat that burnout by taking a sabbatical. We try to combat that burnout by completely swapping our business model on its head. But what I need you guys to understand is that that's not going to solve your problem of running a business that doesn't actually let you up. So what we have to start to understand is that in order for you to not only get to seven figures, because seven figures obviously is the goal, the dream, everybody wants that, beautiful. You can't get there until you have become the person that really has accepted in their hearts that they wanted, and B, first and foremost, that, but secondly, you become the person that is able to handle that. Okay. Because creating a seven-figure business isn't just like rainbows and butterflies. It's also, it's also clients that aren't maybe sometimes the best. It's also dealing with things in life that happen. It's not if something happens, it's when something happens, right? So there's all these nuances that we have to really understand. So what I need you guys to understand about building a business that allows you to enroll clients without sales calls specifically and have monthly recurring revenue and all those things is that you first have to become the person that deserves that. Okay. So I'm going to talk more about that in another video, but I really want to tangibly break down exactly how I've done it. And I've been doing it for, this is the fifth year. Okay. Like I've been doing it for going on 5 years. And let's talk about it. So, first things first, you guys, I'm going to talk about offers really quick because a lot of people, right? I'm going to talk about offers in the way that you actually will present your offer so that somebody, not only when they find you, they feel like, hell yeah, you're my person, but also they feel like you have done so much research on them and you understand them from back to front, front to back, that they can't say no. They're not going to go window shop. They're not going to go look for another coach. They're going to be front and ready to work with you, period. Okay. So this is how we're going to do this. First things first, you have to have an offer that people want to buy and can afford to buy, and you sell to them. Okay. I talk to so many people that are all over the map and they're trying to sell so many different offers that actually don't make any sense. Okay. So you have to have an offer that people want to buy, can afford to buy, and are willing to buy. So let's think about it. Let's think about if your offer result is perhaps you help somebody lose 10 pounds and help somebody lose 10 pounds in 60 days by doing the ketogenic diet. Okay. That should be abundantly clear. It should be abundantly clear. That's exactly what you do, right? And it should be abundantly clear your unique process to help somebody lose weight, because that's a dime a dozen, right? Weight loss offers are everywhere. Your unique process is not only that you help them do it using a keto diet, okay, but you also do it in a way that gives life back to the life that you already have. So let me break that down. You are not just selling an outcome, you're also selling a lifestyle. This doesn't mean that you're selling Birkin bags and Bali trips. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you're selling what's on the other side of them losing that weight. Okay. What's on the other side of them actually losing weight in a way that makes them feel good? What's on the other side of them actually losing weight in a way that actually fuels them instead of drains them? We're selling that. And I say that you want to get so like eerily specific in your messaging in your offer that when somebody finds you, you want them to think, oh my God, my entire life I've needed this. Okay. So that's where we want to start, you guys. I love to break it to you, but you do not, and I repeat, You do not need to be so ultra unique in the outcome that you solve that when somebody finds you, they don't even know what it is. Okay. I talk to people that are like, oh my gosh, I help people lose weight by just tapping into their energy. It's like, well, everybody knows that that's not the way to lose weight, right? So we have to be forward facing and honest in our process of when we're helping people navigate whatever it is that problem that we solve. Okay. And I don't care if you're a weight loss coach, a sex coach, a health and fitness, a business coach, a marketing coach, what have you, right? What's important is that you understand and you can clearly identify the outcome. Is it weight loss? Is it making more money as in their career? Is it making more money as a coach? Like whatever it is, then you also need to be equally clear about the journey or the vehicle that you help them take to get to that end result. Okay. This is why some offers sell better than others. Some offers sell a hell of a lot better than others. And you want to know why? For one, distribution. We're going to talk about that in a second. But second, why some offers sell so much better than other offers. They've done two things really well. They've clarified exactly who the offer's for and who it's not for. And second, they're extremely clear and convicted in the journey that they're taking their clients on, right? So you guys may have heard of like, what's your framework? What's your proprietary process, et cetera, right? Some people are so clear, me being one of them, on exactly how you help your clients go from A to Z. You can't tell them nothing. Okay, you can't. And if you are sitting here being like, okay, I have leads, maybe you're doing YouTube, maybe you're on TikTok, but people are failing to convert, it's because they don't feel activated by the offer that you're selling them. And they don't feel activated by the messaging that you're giving them, that you know exactly what it is that is going to solve their problem. Okay. Just because you have a degree or experience or this and that, 2-3 years ago, you guys, golden. It didn't matter. It did not matter, right? You could be like, here's a freaking candle lighter, right? Here's a candle lighter. People like, send me the link to pay in full. That's how it was 2 or 3 years ago. It's not like that anymore. I was just having this conversation with a couple clients. It's like, at the end of the day, right? The way you sold your offer before, right? You can't sell it the same way. Let's think about it. Think about Netflix versus Blockbuster. What's the outcome? Getting entertainment into people's hands, right? At home. That's the outcome. But one model, one offer is far succeeding than the other. One is out of business, Blockbuster, right? And one is thriving, Netflix. Okay. So what I need you guys to understand, it's less about this ego sometimes that we have, and it's more about like, how do I meet my audience and the people that need me where they're at? Because the outcome is the same. Getting like Netflix and Blockbuster, the outcome is the same. Entertainment in the hands at home, right? With your family. That's the same outcome. Although Netflix may have a few different outcomes these days. But neither here nor say that's the actual core outcome. They're selling entertainment. Okay. Why is one in business and one not? Okay. Why? Because the way people navigate, the way that people move, and the way that market behavior has changed. A lot of people give algorithms specifically a lot of flack, but you guys have to understand it's not just the algorithm that's against you or the algorithm that doesn't want you to win. You are up against people's behavior. And more than ever, right? And there's going to be that person that goes first, right? When we think about the innovation life cycle, there are people that are going to go first, right? Like planes, there's always people that go first. Most of us are not going first in our own independent industries. Okay. It's a big risk. It's a big undertaking. And to be honest, I'm happy to not have to fully go first in something sometimes. Okay. But what I am grateful for is that the people that have gone first, right? I'm not the first person to teach ads and content and high ticket sales and low ticket sales. I'm not going to be the last. But what I am is an innovator in my own right. Right. So when I think about Netflix, they took a spin, right? Even, and I don't actually want to talk about this company, but Netflix, this other company I was thinking about, EV cars, I was thinking about, right? When we think about like Netflix, they took a problem that has been being solved for centuries, damn near entertainment, and they looked at where the future was heading: quickness, availability, simplicity, right? Convenience. Starbucks introduced drive-throughs, right? They weren't the first people, but like they do drive-through coffee really, really well, right? So it's taking these concepts and these outcomes, right? And I'm talking abstract about your offers because it's super important. It's taking these pieces, you guys, right? And understanding that if you could basically teach an old dog new tricks, you are always going to win. Let me give you another tangible example. 2, 3 years ago, to get clients specifically, right? There's like a couple really big communities and groups that were like, and coaches that were like, Facebook groups are the way, right? And I was one of them, right? Facebook group model worked super well for 2, 3 years. Now it doesn't work as well anymore. A lot of those companies have pivoted. They've done different things, right? Like they're not teaching Facebook groups anymore. Not because like it didn't work, it just isn't working as well anymore. Okay, so it doesn't mean that their skill set on how to build community is invalid. It doesn't mean that at all. But what it does mean is that you have to follow the market and you have to follow human behavior. So if there is something new, shiny, all the things, just like when TikTok came abroad, just like the next app's going to come abroad, like you have to be willing to shift and to pivot. Okay. So to tie this back up with your offers before we talk about ads and all that in a second, you have to have the ability, you guys, with your offers to shake shift, right? And understand that your vehicle, right, may not be the thing that people want right now. They want the outcome, right? People want the entertainment through Netflix. People want clients. They don't necessarily want to do it through Facebook groups anymore. Okay. And it's like usually happens like slowly and then it ramps up. So I need you guys to understand that it's like taking your offer and slapping on a new color lipstick. And it's not deviating from what you believe in your values, never that, right? But like it's looking at the market and analyzing it and saying, okay, I'm going to do things my way. And I'm also going to marry the market and meet them where they need to be, just like in a marriage. Like you're not always going to get your way. Okay, so there's going to be these small sacrifices and small pieces that you're going to have to shape shift or change in order for your offer to sell the way that you want. So some of the key levers I have my clients pull when they're trying to figure out, okay, like how do I shift my offer to be one that people actually will buy, right? And I'll use weight loss and fitness for an example, right? Like as you guys know, the last 2 years, like GLP-1s have been extremely popular. Ozempic, Mounjaro, things like that, right? And I could tell like a lot of my clients that helped people with like diet and exercise, clean eating, things like that really struggled. But here's how you get out of that struggle. If you're like, I'm not willing to sacrifice my values or compromise, you shouldn't. Here's how you get out of that, right? Two things. You have to have extreme conviction, and then you have to master distribution. Okay. So when I say extreme conviction, you have to get online and in your content and in your emails and in your ads and be like, that way that you're trying or you think you want to try, you think you want to go GLP-1, you think, and I'm not, no shit on GLP-1s, you guys. I'm just using it as an example. I've never tried one, but I have friends that have done it and it's really radically saved their lives in a lot of ways. So I have no tea, no shade to those. I'm just using it as an example. Like if you're a health and fitness coach and you're like clean eating and exercise, okay, show me not only the journey, right? I want you to show me how you've gotten to where you've gotten or a client's journey, but I want you to activate me from a place of like so deeply that you know exactly how I feel. So here's an example. When you're talking about messaging and offers, right? Part of your offer could be, instead of you getting overwhelmed, and this is just a piece of copy, but this is a part of your offer, less about like you're gonna get 3 calls and da da da. We're not features and benefits. I don't give a F about right now. I care about how you're gonna activate your client to say, I need what you have. Okay. So I gave this example to one of my clients the other day. If you're as a health and fitness coach and you work with moms, let's say that, and say this mom has maybe tried GLP-1s or she's tried keto or she's tried training for a marathon, whatever the hell it is, right? You want to get so creepily hyper specific that when you're creating your copy or putting it on your offer page or putting it in your funnel, use a line like this. You could say, your kids get home from school, right? And everything's chaotic. And for the last 3 weeks, you've been eating clean, eating your broccoli, your chicken, and your rice. But one kid just sets you off. Before you know it, you toss the kids in the backseat of the car. You're on the way to McDonald's to shut them up. Right. And before you know it, your hand is in the bag grabbing a fry too because you're overwhelmed, overstimulated, and you're just done with the day. And then from there, right, the cycle repeats. So you never actually prioritize your health and fitness because you allow everything else in your world to take over your health and fitness. And at the end of the day, you feel defeated, you feel worthless. You look at your body in the mirror and you want to throw up. Okay. That may sound harsh. It's not. That's actually how, and I've talked to moms and even myself I've fluctuated in weight 20 to 40 pounds, like for the last couple of years. Like that feels real to me. And it's not necessarily needs to be relatable. Like I'm not a mom. Okay. So I'm not necessarily relatable to a mom, but why could I so clearly speak to that pain point that they have? Because I can look at human psychology and look at behavior and understand, right? And this is what you guys have to start doing in your messaging, your marketing, and your offers, right? Because you're not gonna, right? Like it's also who has a better offer, right? I'll talk about that in a second. But like if you could tap into the psychology of how somebody actually feels and not just feels how they're moving, how they're showing up, what's actually holding them back from like the behaviors and the habits of getting the results that they want. And you could show them that you're not going to leave them, that you're going to support them. You're not their savior, but you have a process or a framework or a system that will get them out of that pain that they're so deeply in. They're going to say, send me the freaking link to pay in full. Okay. Or payment plan, whatever. So I need you guys to understand that yes, of course, GLP-1s have taken off because, health and fitness people want the quick, easier, fast way. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, how do you stand out in a market when that's not your offer? You have to do what I call offer improvements. Okay. Offer improvements. And sorry, this lighting sucks right now. Offer improvements. I'm turning my camera back this way. Offer improvements really just boil down to how can you get them result quicker? How can you get them result more simply? How can you get the result in less time? Right? So offer improvements are necessary at every level of the game. Okay. So that's the first part of this, you guys. Like over the years, like I just gave you the Facebook group example, the Netflix example, real life example, how to take an offer that's good and make it great. You can add done for you components. Hi, Danielle. You can add done for you components. You can add, like for one thing, like for weight loss, you can basically partner with local meal companies or basically have Amazon shopping lists or Instacart shopping lists available. Like, how can you help your client get the result faster, simpler, without compromising integrity? Okay. So at every level, we have to make these offer improvements so that our people can not only trust in us, but are willing to do the work and they're not window shopping for other coaches and other consultants. Okay. So that's the first part, right? We got to have an offer that people really want. We have to make offer improvements to offers that used to sell really well that aren't selling anymore. And we just really have to make a complete offer upgrade, right? Like just like, analogy I can give you is like if you've lost a bunch of weight and then you go get a mommy makeover, right? It doesn't discount the weight that you lost. You put in the work, however you did it, right? But like you want to make it nice and tight and make it even better. You want that package to look even better. Okay. So that's what a mommy makeover does. And that's what these offer upgrades do. So you want to look into your offer to see where can you be more simple? Where can you do for you if you want to do that? Where can you speak more clearly to your audience so that they know that they're buying, right, from the person that understands them? Because that's all people want. They want to feel understood and heard. Okay. So there's that. So that's the first part of this. Part number two, when we think about like how to sell without sales calls specifically and have a business model that brings us profit, and not having us, work 40, 50 hours a week. But you have to understand, okay, boring is going to be way better than flashy and FOMO and all these other things all these other people are doing. I need you to create commitment. Okay. So that's the second part of this. You have to create commitment. Commitment is what's going to allow you to stay consistent. Commitment is what's going to allow you to get through the hard times or the contrast times. And commitment is what's going to get you the results that you want. So what you guys need to commit to, I want you to commit to selling one higher end offer, and you can sell it in two different ways. I'm going to talk about that in a second, right? But you need to commit to selling your outcome that you sell to your audience. You need to commit and own that. You need to own that shit. Like I think about Nike, I'm like shoes. I think about Chick-fil-A, chicken, right? Like I want to think about you, Danielle. I don't know your niche, but I want to think about Danielle and be like, that's her niche, right? When people think about me, they think about ads. Soon they're going to look at Latisse and think newsletters, right? Like that's the trajectory, right? You have to put your stake in the ground, right? They look at me and think ads and like business model, 7 figures, right? You want people to look at you and be like, damn, she is the expert and the specialist in this area, period. Okay. Because you know why? Specialists get paid a hell of a lot more than people that are generalists. Generalist doctors, maybe 150, 175. Specialists, heart surgeons, cardiologists, neurosurgeons, 500, 600, $700,000. So you have to make a commitment. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be a generalist for everybody, or do you want to be a specialist for your people and your people only? Okay, because as you build your personal brand, part of it, I'm going to talk about how to build your personal brand in just a second. As you build your personal brand and you become known for one thing over and over and over, you can now broaden out. I think about like Oprah. She started as like a talk show host. She's very like pop culture entertainment. Okay, now she can sell, home goods and do speaking shows and host award shows and acting and all these things, right? She has a personal brand that she's built for, decades and decades and decades. She didn't start that way, though. A lot of you guys are trying to skip the gun. I really want to fix this lighting, but I don't want to stop talking because the shade is down. A lot of you guys are trying to build this business. Let's see if this fixes it. It might. A lot of you guys are trying to build a business or sell an offer. This is really distracting. I'm so sorry. A lot of you are trying to build a business or sell an offer without being a specialist first. And you wonder why you're not getting paid the 20K price points that some coaches are getting, or the 30K clients or the 10K clients, because you're selling like a generalist, right? And you're not letting people actually pay you like a specialist because you're showing up like a generalist, even though you have a very specialized, highly sought after skill set, but you're not demonstrating that. Okay. So what I need you guys to understand is that you, in fact, are a specialist. Sorry, you guys. So you, in fact, are a specialist, but you have to show up that way. Okay. If you want to get paid 10, 20, $30,000 a client, you have to show up as a specialist. So there's a niche of a niche. So if you're a health and fitness coach, how about you be a health and fitness coach for postpartum moms? Specialist. If you are a relationship coach, how about you be a relationship coach for women over 40 who've navigated divorce? Specialist. Baby, you can walk this way. How about you as I'm trying to think of a business coach. How about you be a business coach that specializes in working with consultants, right? That are already six-figure individuals. You have to focus on specializing, okay? So let's kind of talk about like the commitment piece of like the one offer. So you can sell this one offer, and this is what we do inside of our business, right? Like I have one offer that I sell, right? But I sell it in two different ways depending on the time of the year. I sell it one-to-one, and I can also sell it in a group container. But here's the thing I want you guys to understand. It's less about like I need to launch this group offer and that group offer and this course. No. You need to start from the end and understand that you're taking your specialty and like what it is that you do to help clients get results. That needs to be how you show up in everything that you sell. So if you are selling a one-to-one program, one-to-one or a group, both of those, right, should still get the same outcome. They should still offer the same outcome of 20 pounds in 90 days, right? And people, okay, hey, Jackie girl, welcome, honey. It doesn't matter if you help people sell it one-to-one or a group. That doesn't matter. What matters is the idea that you have two different levels of access. And maybe if you're just some more earlier stage, or maybe if you've been in the game for a while, how you end up making your business feel more like your business than everybody else's, right? Because we all know that sometimes we will make our business feel like everybody else's, is that you sell one result, one outcome. Okay. You can't be everything to everybody, right? When you are pouring from a cup that's already at max, you're overflowing and not in the right way. Okay. So when we think about offers, I want you guys to do this. This is what I want you to do. I want you to have a one-to-one offer that you sell for at least $5,000 to $10,000. Okay. Then from there, when you max that out, this is how we start to build recurring revenue. When you max that out, right? So say your capacity is you could take 5 one-to-one clients, right? You're going to meet with them twice a month. Is what I do. I meet with my clients twice a month. No client needs weekly anything. Okay. So get rid of the weekly calls, meet with them twice a month. And these are one-to-one clients. Then from there, depending on your capacity, if you have kids, school, whatever you're doing, right? Then you say, okay, cool. I filled up my one-to-one. I'm gonna go to a wait list, right? Now I'm going to, and you don't, and I have some clients that don't even do group coaching. They're just like, no, I'm okay. I just want to do one-to-one. That's okay. And they're still making multiple six figures. So now that you have this one-to-one offer full or almost at capacity, you take the same framework. You're not teaching anything else. The only thing that changes from your one-to-one and your group program is the level of access people have to you. One-to-one is what it sounds like. It's one-to-one, okay? Group is what it sounds like. It's a group and it's a community, okay? So here's how I would structure it. One-to-one offers, right, for high ticket, $5, $10, $20, $30,000, right? And a lot of you guys get caught up in the numbers. Don't get caught up in the price point right now. For a one-to-one offer, meet with your client twice a month. You could do 30 or 30 or 60-minute calls, you decide, twice a month. Okay. Then from there, give them access to you via some sort of chat app so they can talk to you back and forth, put boundaries around that. Like, I only talk to my clients Monday through Thursday. I don't work on Fridays, right? For client facing. And then from there, they get my process is already in a curriculum document. And each private client does get a little bit of customization, but I know exactly who my clients are. I know exactly their starting points. I know exactly what they need. And I have a resource library for them. Okay. So instead of overwhelming them, like, here's 45 courses that I've created over the last 6 years, I'm like, here is the master roadmap. And then after our first kickoff call, they get a kickoff call, 60 minutes. Then from there, I go to work, I customize. That takes me maybe 20 minutes. Because I know my ideal client, I don't have to like go to this place of like over customizing their roadmap. I plug and chug what they need based off our kickoff and based off what I know about them and their application. And then from there, we keep it as a running doc over the next 90 days or 6 months, whatever package they signed up for. Okay. So what does that now do? That loops us in and locks us in. So now that private client, they feel seen, they feel heard, and they feel like they have a plan. Okay. And not even feel, they do have a plan. Okay. That's all I do for my window clients. Now, obviously, I help them. I look at stuff, review feedback, things like that. But like, I literally sell it with a Google Doc. Like, I don't have a sales page for it. I don't get on calls for it. I sell it with a Google Doc. Okay. So there's that. Now, once you get to that max capacity or one-to-one, and maybe you don't want to do one-to-one. I will say though, if you're like, I really want to get to 30K months or 40K months, my recommendation is going to be get to one, like, sell it. One-to-one is making a comeback. You guys, like, for a couple years there, one-to-one was out, group was in, but honey, one-to-one is back because people are tired of being shitted on. They're tired of people lying to them. They're tired of being in these oversized communities of 500 clients and nobody paying attention. Okay. I've done group programs really well. Like, I'm a group coaching freaking master. But what I will say, if you have a revenue goal that you want to hit in the next 60 days, the quickest way to do that and to get your monthly reoccurring revenue is money that you can expect month after month after month. Okay. For a set period of time or an unlimited period of time. Okay. So get to your baseline. I always tell my clients, I want you to get to $20,000 a month in reoccurring as quickly as possible. Right. And then from there, we can branch out and do other things. But too often we try to do too many things at once. We wonder why we're not getting the results that we want because our focus is split. Can you imagine, you guys, when I used to have to date, thank God I don't have to do that anymore, like trying to talk to even just 2 people at one time, just like dating us something cute, like light type of stuff. It was too much. Like I felt like, wait, who told me this story and what's your mom's name? Like, it was too much. Okay. So you have to think about that when you're selling offers online. If you're trying to sell this group program and that master course and that, it's too freaking much. Okay. And it's too much for your brain. So how about you put your best foot forward and develop your most signature offer? Because a lot of you guys are like, oh, I'm just going to sell low end first, but you're not reaching your income goals. That actually doesn't make any sense. Danielle says she used to make notes in her phone, right? Like too much, right? For some people it works, but most people it doesn't. Okay. And I'm not even ADHD. It's too much for me. So for me, when I think about selling high ticket, you're selling proximity and access, right? You spending your one-to-one time with somebody is so high level, right? And you have to treat it as such. And why are you not pricing it as such? It's the highest thing that they could do. Do you think like Tony Robbins, the last time I knew, he charged like $1 million a session for coaching. Okay. Tony Robbins, $1 million. And people pay it. He'd be backed up for years and years and years. Okay. So I'm gonna wrap this portion of this up, but like, you really need to understand that your one-to-one offer and your group offer is the same thing. It's just the levels of access. So big result, big offer, outcome, right? No claims or guarantees, but offer promise. And then from there, fill up your one-to-ones, get to $20,000, $30,000 in monthly recurring as quickly as possible. And then you could sell at your group and have that running 24/7, 365 on Evergreen. Or you could do like a hybrid style. Some of my clients, they'll start they'll close off, they'll do a wait list, and they'll re-enroll like once a month. Okay. So there's that. Now let's kind of talk about everybody's favorite part, right? We have to talk about offers and messaging though, because that's the foundation. It's just like a house. You can't build a house from the 3rd level down. You can't. You have to build it from the bottom up. And a lot of you guys are trying to build your 7-figure empires from the 3rd level down. And you wonder why it's not building in the way that you want it, right? You're making decent money, but you're not making the money you could be making because you're trying to build your empire from the 3rd level down. You're trying to build $1 million business like already at a million and you're not there yet. You have to build it from the bottom. Okay. And the more stable that the bottom is, the more concrete that's laid, the more foundation that's there, the better it's going to be, right? As we grow and scale, the less emotionally unstable it's going to be, you're going to be, and the business is going to be, the more capacity you'll have, the more fun you'll have, the more joy you'll have, and the more time you'll have to do things that you actually love. Okay. So there's that. Now, let's talk about like how we're going to get these clients for this offer. We've got our one-to-one and our group offer built out. Again, you can do one-to-one and group. You could do one or the other. I don't give a damn. Pick something, okay? But get to your monthly recurring revenue as quickly as possible, and you get there by stacking payment plans, okay? Now let's talk about how we're going to get these high-end clients, okay? First off, right, what you need to understand is that you cannot create, say you've made a webinar or a lead magnet. You guys are not new to this. You're true to this. But you're like, nobody's consuming it. Well, it's because you put it on a shelf, honey. It's just like putting that old stuffed animal that your ex got you 20 years ago on a shelf, and nobody's like, there's no window, there's no room, there's no breath to it, right? So when you create these lead magnets and these webinars and all these things, for one, most of y'all, we do need to do some work on those, but it's just like putting up a website and there's nobody coming to it, or it's like sitting in a car with no gas. Okay, the car is not going to go with no gas. So the same thing is, it's like if you're spending all this time creating lead magnets and webinars and trainings and master classes, and you have nobody coming to it, you're literally wasting your time. Okay. So here's the first part of like how we get new leads and clients. You have to have traffic. Okay. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not fighting with this funky ass algorithm. I'm not. I love Instagram and I'm grateful to God for Instagram and Facebook. It's changed my life and I'm so grateful. But what I will be damned is if I'm sitting here, because I built my account 100% organic, right? Between ads and organic, but these are all targeted leads, never used any bots, right? I have low reach, right? Like some days, everybody's reach is down. But what I'm not going to do is let that hold me back from reaching my people. So instead, I'm going to pay to play. Okay. And a lot of my clients start their ads at $10 a day, right? And I always say, if you got money to DoorDash every day, right, which you shouldn't be because you should be on your health grind, but that's okay. That's not what this is about today, right? But if you got money to DoorDash, maybe you DoorDash a sweet green salad like me, right? You got money for ads, okay? A lot of times we think we don't have the money for ads, but we do, right? The money is sitting right there in your face. But the emotional wherewithal that you'll put yourself through thinking, oh my God, ads this, like run the damn ads, cut the check, okay? Because here's the thing, the only way, right? I force my content to go viral, certain pieces. I force it. I don't rely on it. I force it to go viral, like semi-viral inside of my niche. That's what you're doing. You're basically telling Zuck to say, hey, I want you to show this piece of content that leads people to a next step, lead magnet, webinar, whatever, right? That leads people to a next step. I want you to force this to go viral because I'm not playing. Don't play in my face, right? A lot of you are letting these algorithms play in your face and you're thinking that you're not good enough, that people don't want to buy your offer, that you're too expensive, that, she got it over there, you ain't got it over here. No, you literally just have a distribution and a lead flow issue a lot of the times. Now, some of you, there's other issues where if you've sold your offer, you've got your content has popped off, like people love what you do, you're an expert, you truly just need more eyeballs in front of you. Okay. So we fix that by running super simple Instagram ads. Okay. I know I'm over here on YouTube right now, but I don't rely personally on YouTube to like get my content out there. I rely on YouTube as like the Netflix effect, right? The Netflix effect where you come over, you binge on my content, and then you're like, send me the link to pay in full. That's how I use YouTube. Okay. So I heavily SEO title my YouTube and stuff for my IDO clients. My stuff is probably never going to go massively viral. I don't care because I have a system where I can turn it on for 10, 20, 50, $100 a day, right? And of course we start small when we're just getting started, that bring people to me, that bring my IDO client to me. And if you've ever ran ads before, I need you guys to stop playing around being like, I want $3 leads. No, you don't. You don't want $3 leads, right? For most of you. Because the $3 lead is a cheap lead. So that tells me that whatever lead magnet or freebie you're sending them to, it ain't shit. And honestly, it's probably you're now playing in their face because at the end of the day, I see people lately just really crapping on lead magnets and stuff. No, you have to produce, and Alex Ramosi talks about this. You have to give enough goodwill that by the time they consume it, they're so excited to consume it, the lead magnet, whatever. Once they do consume it, they can't put it down, right? It's like a good book. That Onyx book, I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to go to Barnes and Noble this weekend and get on the train, right? It's like so good that they can't put it down, that they're like, I'm sitting on the edge of a seat. I'm looking at you, Wicked, on the edge of the seat in the movie theater, and I'm like, what's freaking next? That's how good your lead magnet should be. And one of the things that I hear from people all the time, you guys, is, "Oh, I just don't want to give away the whole farm." Give it away, right? Because if somebody can go do it on their own, good for them, right? But we all know most people are not going to want to do it on their own, right? So you're accounting for like the 0.001%. Give away the freaking farm, right? Because at the end of the day, as many scammers there's been and all these chaotic scandals around, you be the person that's giving so much. I'd rather you see how good I am up front than you have to see, instead of you having to see it behind a paywall. Let me repeat myself. I'd rather you see how good I am and my offers are up front than you having to wait to see it behind the paywall. I don't get clients that are like, well, I wasn't really expecting that, or oh, I didn't know you talked like that, or oh, I didn't know that was your philosophy, right? Because when you give goodwill up front, for one, it's infused with values, it's infused with not even just good information. ChatGPT can give you good information. It's fueled with and it's focused on your process. Okay. A lot of times when there's disconnects in the sales process, right? And this is where you have to flip your mindset, right? And this is why I've done so well over the last few years, is because instead of being so sales focused, I sell every day, honey, don't get me wrong. But instead of being sales focused, where sales call this, got it, like I don't like sales calls for my business, but I think sales calls are great. But I think a lot of people do sales calls wrong because they are waiting for the sales call to actually do the selling. Your marketing and your goodwill and your lead magnets and your content and your ads should do the selling for you, right? That's what actually good marketing is. If you guys think about it, good marketing is like, damn, I want it so bad. How do I sign up? Right. So anything that, like, I'm a big Lululemon fan, I'm a big Target fan, I'm a big, Meg the Stallion, like anything they put out, I'm buying it. Tabitha Brown, like I'm just buying it because they've built so much goodwill up with me over, even if it's a short amount of time or a long amount of time, I trust them, good quality, and I know they're always going to come through for me. Okay. So if you can demonstrate that in your long form content on YouTube, right, and through your ads, there's no reason people shouldn't be paying you. Okay. So there's that. So we have to be proactive with sales and handle objections in our marketing, talk about our processes. Because what you don't want is to get somebody like, everybody knows I don't do sales calls. What I don't want, and I have clients that do sales calls and I still teach that to them, but that's not the focus of our time together. Right. But like, it would be crazy. Let me give you another example. If people came to me and was like, I just want to do organic marketing, I'm the ads queen. Like, you sound crazy coming to me. Like, have you been under a rock? Okay. That's what you don't want. You don't want clients being like, well, I thought you were going to teach me this, but you're only teaching me this. And then they're asking for refunds, chargebacks, trying to be nasty. That's what you don't want. So if you can be more proactive in your marketing, talking about who you want to help and who you don't want to help in your process, you are going to be golden. You are going to get the most dreamiest clients. You're going to get people on extending with you. I have a client just signed up for her third year with me. I have another client on her fifth year with me. 2020, we started. It's 2025. Right? She pays me all the time. Let people pay you, right? Let the right people pay you, okay? And let the wrong people go elsewhere, okay? So there's that. You need traffic. You got to have people coming in every single day and you got to be proactive. The last part of this, really quick, before I move into like, because sales and marketing to me, I look at marketing as truly for me, marketing is way stronger than sales, right? I'm a much better marketer than I am at sales. But the reason why is because I understand the mind of my buyer. A lot of you guys are unwilling to do the work to figure out why your people buy, what moves them to buy, what pain are they in, what pleasure do they want to be in, what's their family like at home, what are they thinking, what are they Googling at 2 a.m. If you don't know the answers to that, you need to do that this weekend. You don't, no time off, don't pass go, don't collect $200. You got to do it. Okay. It's maybe the boring things, but it's what's going to get people to sell. I get people asking me all the time, oh my God, Leticia, it's like you were in my head, because I am. I don't have to, like, I have clients that are moms. I'm not a mom and won't be a mom for a long time, right? I know what they're thinking though. I study them. I know them like the back of this hand, okay? Because I care. And I want to know, and I want them to know that even though I'm not a mom, I can still relate. I can create connection points. And you do that through storytelling and analogies and frame of references. Okay. So, traffic, we understand that Instagram ads $10, $20 a day. What you need to do though, right? So now you have traffic, that's distribution. From there, you need to create content. You need to have one piece of automated content. It's like a video sales letter or a PDF, whatever you want to do. That's super jam packed with a lot of value, goodwill. And it's just your process, right? It doesn't need to be a checklist or a quiz or any of that bullshit. It just needs to be your process, you guys. How do you get somebody to lose weight in 60 days? How do you get somebody to be in the C suite? How do you get somebody to heal after the divorce, after, infidelity? Whatever it is, you need to be clear on that. And it can't be some fluffy like we're going to just hold our hands over our heart and we're just going to like pray to God that we're going to be okay. No, like you're going to help them build their board of directors. You're going to help them have hard conversations. You're going to help them, maybe seek additional support outside of just your coaching container. You're going to have them learn how to dress properly. You're going to learn how to have them to speak life over themselves. Whatever your process is, that needs to be detailed. Okay. Hey, from Denver. I used to live there for like 3.5 years. What part of Denver are you in? Okay. So that's what a good lead magnet is. Okay. It's meant to lead people in and be a magnet. It's not supposed to repel people away. A lot of y'all's lead magnets is repelling people. So let's not do that anymore. Okay. So that's the second part, right? We need to have a lead magnet that people really want, and when they're exposed to it and when they consume it, right? They are literally obsessed with you. Okay. Slightly obsessed, not overly obsessed in a creepy way, but like obsessed in a way of like, you are the like answer that I've prayed for. And I know a lot of people might think that's weird, but it's not, because when you are as a personal brand right now, what we want to be careful with is like, we're not saviors to our clients. We're not that, but we are going to be guides and consultants and mentors and coaches and all the things. Right. But you want them to be obsessed with your process and your way of thinking, your ideas, right? A lot of you guys you have big ideas, but they're not out for the public to view, right? And I'm not trying to talk about anything politics right now, but like look at politicians, right? The ones that like seemingly get the majority votes and this and that, they have really big ideas and they're very opinionated and very strong about it and very convicted about it, like in their hearts and literally at the federal level, but we won't go there. Okay. So what I need you guys to understand is that it's not about people in your lead magnet specifically. It's not about people wanting a checklist or a quiz or any of that. And I actually don't give a damn how you deliver the information. I don't like quizzes personally, but like PDFs and videos are going to be your best fit. It's about being so strategic in the way that you give the information, that you tell a story, you make it palpable, you make it so beautiful and not out of integrity, but you make it so fathomable that like they can actually accomplish it. Okay. And they become obsessed with your ideas, they become obsessed with your methods, they become obsessed with how you do things, and they can't put their head down on it because like I need a piece of that freaking pie. Okay. That's how you start to get people DMing you the word info or what's your offers about? How do I work with you? That's how it happens, you guys. And it's about consistency over time. You speed this process up by A, getting people in through ads consistently, and then B, creating the Netflix effect by using YouTube or a newsletter or both. I do both, right? Because you ain't gonna ever play in my face about my coins, okay, and my impact, right? Long form content, and my sister friend / old client Jay says this, my idol client reads, okay? Same for me. My idol client reads and she also consumes my content. Why would you want to work like, and it's just like, it's diabolical to me. Why would you want somebody to pay you 10, 20, 30, $50,000 that has no idea what it is that you do? That's what you're waiting for a chargeback. Like, baby, right? So your automated content, that's your whole process. Because what happens is when you get people in from ads, you want to be able to send one video that explains how you work, what you do, your credibility, and handle objections all in one. Okay. You need to have one piece of content that does that runs 24/7, 365. Okay. You need that. Secondly, then you want to create like this Netflix effect of like a Rolodex of like how-to content. I'm sick of people saying nobody searches how-to. No. Yes, they do. If you type in I typed how-to at least 3 times today in Google or Chat GPT. Okay. So you definitely need a Rolodex on your YouTube. Okay. YouTube is making a comeback along with one-on-one coaching. You need a Rolodex of how-to whatever, speaking the whatever problems that you solve or micro problems, create 20 videos over the next 3 months on how to do that. Right. And when we compare you who has 20 or 30 videos, right? To the person that's doing the exact same thing and they have no long form content, who do you think your ideal client's going to trust more? They're going to trust the person that's done enough goodwill where they feel like they know you, they trust you, they see you, you have proof. Like they're going to trust the person that's put in the goodwill, which is why I started my YouTube channel back. Okay. Some of you guys have been here for since 2016 when I started this page, when I was doing my Turo stuff. Like that's how I sold out my Car Share Academy course. I was making YouTube videos. I didn't really do Instagram. I didn't do Facebook. I just did YouTube videos. I think I only had like 25 and I sold out a 297 course. I sold like 20 spots. It was crazy. Okay. So you guys have to understand that like you guys have to really put in thought into your lead magnet. It can't just be this like chat GPT generated lead magnet. It needs to have some thought. It should be just as good as your paid content because by the time they come in, they're going to be surprised and delighted. Okay. Um, Chima says, I'm late, but are mini courses effective? Absolutely. I would say, again, it's about giving enough goodwill for people to consume. You just need people to consume at least 7 hours, right? I don't remember what study, but it says like 7 hours of content. And here's the thing, you guys, some people buy faster than others. So some people don't need 7 hours. They need two, they need one. But the majority of people need to consume at least, 7 to 10 hours of some sort of content in this day and age, right? A couple years ago, people were buying stuff like it didn't matter. But in this day and age, you need somebody to consume 7 to 10 hours of content. Okay. So you use your ads to bring people. You have your offer that's already like creme de la creme. You use Instagram ads, $10 to $20 a day to start. Eventually you'll go up to bring people to you. You create one piece of automated content like a video sales letter or a PDF that breaks down your proprietary method on getting somebody a result, right? And I'll give you another analogy for that. I live in Austin, Texas now. If I want to get to Miami, the vehicle, I could drive, I could fly, I could walk, I could take a train. There's so many different ways to get to Miami. Miami's my destination. Okay. Personally, I'm a fly because I don't got the time to be road tripping right now. Same thing for you guys. You guys have to get out of your head. It's about you have to document. Like if I'm talking about, okay, developing a lead magnet and I'm like, how's the process to get to Austin to Miami? Step one, I'm going to open up my laptop and go to Google Flights or Southwest. I fly Southwest usually domestically and then American overseas, right? So I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go to southwest.com. Step two, I'm gonna put in my dates. Da 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 da. It's a process, okay? To fly, to book that. So when you think about your process to help somebody lose weight or fall in love after divorce, whatever, right? Or as a leadership coach, whatever, you need to be so distinct in documenting that process and use your big ideas and your big analogies and your big frame of references, your big point of views, right? To be able to get people the information that they need to make the decision. Okay. Stop relying on sales calls to do that, right? If you are doing all the selling on a sales call, you've already lost a client. That's my opinion. You've already lost. Okay. So that's the second part, you guys. The automated, and this is most of it's automated. Your long form content isn't, but like everybody's got enough time in the week they can make a 10-minute video. So please, and you don't have to edit it either. Everybody has enough time where they can make a 10 or 15-minute YouTube video once a week. Because if you look at them Instagram stats and you made no sales, that means you probably was scrolling. Okay. So you have 10 to 15 minutes a week where you could take dedicated time to create long form content so that you create this Netflix effect for your audience. Okay. So that's that. The last part of this, right, on how I've been so successful enrolling clients without sales call is you can't just like not have something to replace the sales call, right? The sales call is also there to talk about features and benefits, yada, yada, yada. So instead of that, because bump that for me, right? I personally don't like doing sales calls because I like freedom is my highest value next to love. So for me, it doesn't feel like freedom being on a sales call with somebody. It just doesn't. Like I don't even like I just don't enjoy it, right? Because and also I probably didn't enjoy it because I used to be so reactive and tried using selling on the sales call as like the selling part. So maybe now it'd be a little bit different, but I ain't never going back. Okay. So instead of a sales call, there's one or two ways to do this. And my clients, they do it in different ways. If you have more of a B2C or a business opportunity offer, so if you're helping people like make money with digital products or make money starting a cleaning business, or you are selling fitness to, whatever, you may want to have an application in between them buying from you. You don't have to, but what I have found is that does help filter because typically your lead costs are a little bit lower. You're getting more volume. So in order to sift through the quality of folks, application 4 to 6 questions is all you need. You're gonna ask name, email, phone, what's your current situation? Where do you want to go? What your goals are? Like, you just want to kind of pre-qualify people. You don't want 30 questions or anything, but a good 4 to 6 questions is a good spot. So my recommendation, like 70% of the time, depending on like your personal brand and things like that, you probably do want some sort of application in the middle. Then from there, right, all you're going to do is send over. And again, if you have a strong personal brand, or you're selling straight to businesses, or you've been in business for a long time and you feel really confident, you don't need it. Okay. Or if you're just selling one-to-one, you don't need it. Okay. But it's up to you. You can put an application, you don't have to. I personally haven't found a decrease or increase in conversion rates. It's just there as a filtering guide. From there, and what we used to do up until this year is we used to send what I called a program overview training, and that still works. But I have been selling, and I've been quietly testing it behind the scenes for the last like year and a half, is selling just with Google Docs. Okay. So essentially, you take what you would have talked about on the sales call, right? And you put it all in a Google Doc. And there is a framework. It's not just any doc. It's not just like, here's my offer. It's about strategically placing sections of the Google Doc, kind of structured like a sales call, but like you're putting it on a Google Doc in a way where it reads like a love letter, I would say. And then from there, you're also talking about values. You're also talking about what's important to you. You're also talking about how they can move forward into the next step. So I'm no longer sitting here having to do back and forth DMs with people. I'm not having to say, let's get on a call. I'm not doing any of that because I've already pre-sold them, right? There's a reason why I spend so much time on my marketing, and I don't even spend so much time, but I spend money on ads. I spend money on my time on my long form. I put in the effort up front. So by the time somebody's ready to make a buying decision, I maybe ask 1 or 2 questions and then they're in. Right? They're wiring me 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 plus dollars for whatever package they've chosen. So it's not a matter of, you guys, like, am I worthy to sell without sales calls? It's a matter, am I prepared? Do I have the infrastructure? Have I given enough goodwill? And here's the thing, you guys, the goodwill and the content, it doesn't mean that you've had to been online for 15 years, right? You could do this in 30 days, 60 days. Right? Like, it doesn't take a long time. But if you are spending your time doing things that are actually not productive, playing in Canva, kikiing all day, right? And I'm a good kikier, okay? But like, some of y'all are kikiing and not producing any results. So maybe you need to check the kikiness, okay? Maybe you need to stop, looking at what everybody else is doing and start doing for yourself, right? Because sometimes you guys are consuming too much and you're not taking enough action because you're beating up on yourself. You're on Netflix scrolling, feeling sad for yourself. I follow Beyonce's rule. She gives herself one good day to have a good old cry, and she's back at it the next day. So at the end of the day, it's not about, am I worthy enough? Can I actually sell on sales calls? Will people buy from me? What about handling objections? In my world, I don't do any of that shit. I don't have any of those beliefs, and I'm not about it, right? My people buy from me in groves. They buy from me because they're ready, and I'm not putting out this desperate, convincing energy. I'm showing up, doing what I do every single day, and that produces rapid ass amazing results. Last week, we had like almost a 20K week, okay? So what I need you guys to understand, I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm here to call you up to the 7-figure upgrade that you need to be in. You can't get to a business model that gives you that you work 20 to 25 hours a week, right? We make passive sales almost every day of the week, right? We have high ticket income, we have low ticket income, and I don't work 80 hours a week, right? I truly have a business that like gives me joy, and it's because I've built my business around my life and not the other way around. So you have to start with your values. That has to be infused in everything that you do, and then from there you just have to gun it. Right. And I don't even mean you don't even gotta post every day. You don't gotta do launches. You have to tell humans what steps to take. A lot of you are not telling humans what steps to take because you're not taking the steps you need to take. Okay. So if I was you and I was like, I want to blow up my business in the next 30 days, here's what I would do. I would take all the other bullshit offers off the plate. I would have one-to-one offer and one group offer, but I would even put the group offer to the side. One offer that's 90 days. Make it at least 5 to 10K minimum, and then be really clear on who it is, who it's for, who it's not for, what problem you're solving. I would do that. And then from there, I would run Instagram ads for $15 or $20 a day. And you can't get scared, you guys. If you're spending DoorDash money every day, you can be spending money on ads. So you're going to run $15 to $20 a day. You're going to create a lead magnet that specifically, it could be PDF, it could be a video. I don't give a damn. Right? You need to infuse it with sales psychology. You need to do these analogies and things like that. But you also need to really speak to the highest level version of them and call them up in that. Okay. And while talking about your process, how you get them results, with your offer as a consultant, a coach, or course creator. Then from there, right, and to make it really easy, just send them straight to a little short questionnaire, right? And then from there, and you can do this all in your inbox. Then from there, create your Google Doc that basically outlines, right? If you guys want help with this, I'm happy to send you over some resources. I have Sell with Docs, I have all the things I'll talk about in a second. You're going to create your Google Doc that completely outlines your offer. You don't need a landing page, you don't need any of that. You just need a Google Doc. Make it neat, make it organized, offer name, who the offer is for, who it's not, yada, yada, yada. What you would do in a sales call is what you want to do on that doc. You want to give them the payment plan options. You want to give them the pay in full. And if you feel like a razzle dazzle, you could do a pay in full bonus. For us, if you pay in full at our 6-month level, you get an in-person VIP day with me in Austin. Okay. Those normally alone are $10,000 to $12,000 by themselves. Okay. So what I need you guys to understand, every day you need to be driving traffic. Every day you need to be growing your email list. Every day, right? And you could do this on autopilot. This doesn't mean you're doing it manually, but every single day, magic needs to be happening in your business and activation. And if you write one piece of content a day, doesn't mean that you need to distribute it that day, right? But if you write one piece of good content a day, it keeps the poverty away. Okay. So that's my process, you guys. That's how I've been able to enroll. Honestly, I think it's closer to 300 or over 300, but I have to do the numbers. But like, that's how I enroll people without sales calls. That's literally how I do it. I'm no one special. I didn't get mommy's and daddy's money. I didn't have, no trust fund. I just figured it out, right? Because I knew, and I had to get really clear, and I'll wrap up here in just a second, and then I'll tell you guys how you can work with me. I knew from the core of my being, I did not, when I did sales calls, I think I did 40 or 50 of them. And I was like, this is not for me. So I found an alternative, right? I knew that at the time I didn't want to do one-to-one. This is back in the day. I wanted to scale with a group. And at the time, one-to-one was not for me, right? It's how I was doing it. Now I do it so much differently. I love one-to-one. And that's actually all I have for sale right now is one-to-one. But back in the day, I was like so drained by it because I was over delivering and over promising and over delivering and had no boundaries with clients. So that's why I was beat the F up. But now, right, like your girl is gravy. Like I think I have like 7 or 8 one-on-one clients right now. They're amazing, obsessed with all of them. And yeah, so at the core of it, it's less about like what everybody else is doing. And it's more about what do you want first, and then finding the business model that aligns with that. So for me, I like active income, high ticket income. I like that monthly recurring. I like those big payments coming in. I like going deep with my clients and serving them to the fullest. And I also like daily passive sales. I like both. And for a long time, I was like, I think you have to do one or the other. But like, hell no, you could do both. And like, that's the beauty, because the person that comes in through your ads is not ready for your $10,000 thing. Well, now you can sell them a $97 thing or a $47 thing that you have on the back end, but now they know what to achieve. Now they have a frame. So even though they may not be able to afford it or whatever their situation is right now, that's okay. Right. But now you've built goodwill. And the hardest buyer to get is the first time. Once they buy something from you and once they're in your world, they're going to be in your world for a long time. Okay. So we just have to create this ecosystem where sales is a priority, but marketing leads the way. Okay. And you lead the way by having a process that you can repeat, right? Like I bring in leads to me, they consume my content, they binge on my content, they DM me how to work together because I have a process on that. I tell them to send me a DM with a very specific keyword, the word info, right? And then from there, I send them over my offer doc and then we move forward. And that's it. Okay. And then they get in and they get epic results and rinse and repeat. That's what I do every single day. So that's my 7-figure business model, you guys. And that's really what it's going to take for you to get into your upgrade era. And at the end of the day, it's less about what everybody else is doing. And it's more about what do you really want? And when you can decipher what you really want. And if you're like, Latice, everything you're speaking is what I want, please head over to Instagram, send me a DM with the word info, and I will send you over my offer, my one-to-one offer. It's 3 months, right? Okay. It's 3 months right now. And this weekend is the last weekend to get it at the current price point. I've already actually updated the page, but I still have the pricing still set. So for 3 months, you can work with me one-to-one. So send me a DM if you want the current one-to-one pricing. And then I also have a 6-month option. Okay. Send me the word info though, if you want to work together. And if you're like, Latice, I want to build out, hi, Dr. Quilly. If you're like, Latice, I want to build out a business that brings me joy, that puts profit first, that allows me to spend time with my family, my kids, my husband, my partner, whatever. And then not just that also like allows you to wake up every single day with like minimal stress. Like I of course there's going to be stress in business, you guys. That doesn't go away. You're a business owner. But like what it does do when you have this type of business model is you're going to get passive sales consistently. You're going to have high ticket monthly recurring revenue coming in. So now you can actually plan for the future. And like for me, planning for the future is actually what's most important. But while also living today. And what I found was when I was running this like really big group coaching program with almost 100 clients at once and like all these co-coaches and like sales, oh, I wasn't doing sales calls then, but even sales calls and like setters and closers, like it was just too freaking much. Like, so I don't have a sales team. I am my sales team, right? Like, and I don't need one because at the end of the day, I've already done the pre-selling through my content. I've already activated people through my content and I don't have to convince people. So that's the beauty of all of this, you guys. And if you want to build out not just the marketing and sales process, the ads and the funnels, but if you're like, I really want to build a business model that can be with me for years to come, then send me a DM on Instagram with the word info and I'll walk you through how it all works, the different options that we have. And then from there, if it's a good fit, we'll get you started. So I absolutely adore you guys. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. And at the end of the day, like you don't get to a 7-figure upgrade or 7-figure income by guessing your way there. You get there by building an ecosystem and a business model that is sustainable for your mental health, your physical health, and your financial health. So I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Send me a DM over on Instagram with the word info, and I will talk to you guys in the DMs. Bye.